Hello everyone, welcome to my show Wiki Techie. This is Arjun here. This is a show where you get to know everything inside the world of technology and anything that you want to ask me or want to know about the new gadgets in stores here in UAE and across Gulf. I'm here to help you out. So let's get started. In the last episode, we സംസാരിച്ചത് நிறைய ആപ്സിനെ കുറിച്ച് നമ്മൾ സംസാരിച്ചു, like in photography, അതല്ലാണ്ട് തന്നെ Google Mapsനെ കുറിച്ച് നമ്മൾ സംസാരിച്ചു. So after all that, we have got a lot of feedbacks from people saying that they wanted to know more about apps. So this episode, what we'll be doing is that we'll be discussing more about apps. So are you guys ready? നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ രീതിയിൽ ഫോട്ടോസ് എടുത്തതിന് ശേഷം നമ്മൾ ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് സം പീപ്പിൾ ടേക്ക് ദ ടൈം ടു യൂസ് സം ആപ്സ് ലൈക്ക് വി ഡിസ്കസ്ഡ് PS Express, അതേപോലെ ലൈറ്റ് റൂം, ദെൻ വി ഹാവ് സ്നാപ്സീഡ്, ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഓരോ ആപ്സ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നമ്മൾ എഡിറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അതിനുശേഷം പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ യു ആക്ച്വലി don't need to spend so much time on the apps, but you can actually use the stock app which is coming with the mobile phone. So today, to give you an example, I'll be using an iPhone, and without even going into any other third-party app, I'll be showing you how to edit your pictures, not too much into it, but little highlights, shadows, അങ്ങനത്തെ സംഭവങ്ങളൊക്കെ ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങളുടെ പിക്ചറിനെ ഇത്രയും കൂടെ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ കൊണ്ടുവരാം എന്നുള്ള കാര്യമായിരിക്കും നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So let's get into the first one, that is the stock app within the phone, and that's from iPhone. So now I'm just going to open up my phone and get into the photos. So here I have one picture which is there. For example, let's take this picture. So this picture, let's see this in landscape. This is a picture which is taken straight out of the camera. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ യാതൊരു വിധത്തിലുള്ള എഡിറ്റിങ്ങോ ഒന്നും തന്നെ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. So this is from the natural light. So this highlights, shadows, saturation or whatever that you see in this picture is directly out of the camera. So now once you open this picture, if you touch the screen, you will find all these options here. അതിൽ ഈ മുകളിൽ കാണുന്ന ഈ ഒരു sliders ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, if you touch that, you will see all these options on the left and to the right side. So what we're going to do right now is look into the options of how this can be edited or how this can be enhanced. അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു പിക്ചർ എടുത്ത് നോക്കുകയാണെന്നെങ്കിൽ തന്നെ there is something called the presets within the Photos app of iOS. So here if you see, there is mono, that is black and white, tonal, there's noir, there's fade, there's chrome, process transfer and instant. So ഈ ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ഒക്കെ നിങ്ങൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ what will happen is that your picture will be looking like a cliche image. കാരണം ഇത് തന്നെയായിരിക്കും മിക്ക ആൾക്കാരും across the world will be using these presets. So but today what I'll be showing you is I'll be showing you something different, that take the original image and there is something here on the right side. So you have the black and white, color and light option, okay? And when you go to the light option, there are all these options over here, from brilliance, exposure, highlights, shadows, brightness, contrast and black point. So what you need to do is that once you get the image in hand, and the first thing that you can go is go to the highlights and try to reduce it a little bit. Don't go too much, കാരണം നമ്മൾ too much പോവാണെങ്കിൽ you can see the colors are popping out and it's looking very unnatural. So what you can do is that ഈ ഒരു ചെറിയ ഒരു ബേൺ ആയിട്ടിരിക്കുന്ന സംഭവം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഡീഹേസ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഈ ഹൈലൈറ്റ്സ് ലൈറ്റ്ലി മേ ബി 2 to 3 പോയിന്റ്സ് നമുക്ക് അതിനെ കുറയ്ക്കാം. ദെൻ ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് തിങ് ദാറ്റ് യു ക്യാൻ ഗോ ഫോർ ഇസ് we worked on highlights. Then there's shadows ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് അധികം വർക്ക് ചെയ്യേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല, because it's taken in a direct sunlight somewhere in the evening. So I'm not going to touch the shadows over here, but if you're taking in the low light situations, shadows will be of real good help. For example, if a light is behind the subject, you're taking a picture of a person and the light is behind that person. So obviously നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന ഇമേജിൽ നമുക്ക് ഫേസ് ക്ലിയർ ആയിട്ട് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കില്ല. There'll be too much of gray on the face, So what you can do is that you can take that picture, and if you pull up the shadows, what will happen is that you will be able to see all the details in there. So ഈ ഒരു ഇമേജിൽ ഞാൻ ചെയ്യാത്തതിന് കാരണം because it's taken in the daylight, but if you're taking somewhere after daylight, or if you're taking with not natural light, shadows can be used. The next option that you can go for is the contrast. Contrast, if you take it up a little high, like on a 2 to 3 points, what you'll see is that you will see the image popping out. The flowers, you know, on the forefront are like popping out. So that's one thing that you can use, and the black point really comes in handy. So black point, if you're increasing it a little bit, you will get a sharp image, you know, not too much because you don't want to kill the image. Maybe 2 to 3 points, you could see this. So this is all you have to do. You don't have to touch the colors, you don't have to touch anything else. Just by working on your highlights, shadows, and the black point, and at times contrast, it helps. So this is how the picture is gonna look once you have saved it. So now, for you to have a flow of work, what I'll be doing is that I'm gonna cancel this. I'm gonna discard all the changes. I'll show you in one flow how you're gonna do it. You open the image, go to the slider, come over here, take the light, take the highlights, reduce it a little bit, go to the contrast, then what we are going to do is black point, black point, then that's it, done. So maybe in like 10 to 15 seconds you have a better image than what you have already shot. And this you can do according to your liking, like how you want the colors to be and all that, but I would prefer not to kill the naturality of the picture, but still you'll get a brilliance in the image that you have already taken. So this is how you can go ahead and use the stock app in iPhone. And next one which I'll be explaining to you will be how to work on the black and white pictures, and especially when you take pictures of people, you can actually work on the black and white and it'll make the image so beautiful that, you know, even the skin tone and everything will look very nice. So this is what we're going to discuss next. So let's get into it. So now let's look into how to work on black and white pictures, that the picture that you've taken already, and now we'll see how we're going to work on the black and white version of it. So when you go into the photos, so this is a picture which is taken directly out of the camera. This is how you see it. What you need to do is that just touch the screen, you will see all these options, and go to this option of sliders, and here you have something called black and white. Black and white you don't have to go and do anything over here. Just go here and touch on the black and white, and now you see this picture. You see how it changes? Upper red, green and blue. These three colors like black and white highlights and shadows work here. So you can just slide and see which frame or which grading that you want. So I'm going to slide here, and here you can see that person's face is much clearer when I slide it over here, and not here or not over here also. This slide you're getting a better image, and the background is like little darker, so you could see the subject much clearer. So you can stop it over here, and done. That's it. Now you have a better image of the person in black and white. Now we'll see how it's gonna look if it's not been worked on. So going over here, I'm going to give mono, tonal, fade, none. So yes, this is how the picture is gonna look, and I think that's a great tip for all you guys out there who are taking pictures and who wants to know how to make it black and white in the best way possible without using any other app. So this is how you do it. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, the next app we will be discussing is the app called Layout. This is a Google app. Layout is an app every useful if there is a birthday party happening and you're with your friends and you want to make a collage. For collage, there are millions of apps out there on the iOS and Android platform also. But to me, Layout personally felt a better app and an easy app to share and do the work the quickest time possible. So that's why I've chosen this app called Layout. So we'll go and see how it's been done. So when you open the screen, you could see all these apps, and this is how the Layout app is gonna look. And once you open the Layout app, you would see all the pictures that you've taken lately. What you can do is that if you want to make a collage of say 4 pictures, I'm going to choose this one and I'm going to choose this picture of this doggy over here. I'm going to choose picture of these flowers, 3 pictures, and I want to choose this picture of this car. Fine. So now what you say is you can see all the options in which you can make the collage. So this in square format. അതിനുശേഷം ഇവിടെ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഒരു വൈഡ് ഫ്രെയിം രീതിയിൽ നമുക്ക് 4 പിക്ചേഴ്സ് ഇവിടെ കിട്ടുന്നു. So by default you have all these presets which will come in handy. Most of the time you don't have to work on any of these images. You can just save and then you can share it with your friends. And if you really want to work on these pictures, for example, let's take this frame. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ 4 pictures ഉണ്ട്, but you want the picture of this doggy to be on the main frame. So what you can do is that you can just touch that picture and just drag and drop it over here, and now the pictures have changed. And if you want this picture to be here, you can just drag and drop, that's it. And if you want to adjust, you can adjust it this way. The frame, if you want to make it a little wider and you want to make it a little like a portrait one, and this one as a landscape, you can do that. You can make it smaller, you can play around any way you want, and the ease of use of this app is unbelievable. So that's the reason why I like to tell you guys that Layout is the best app that you can go for when you're making a collage. And if you look at the options below, options, for example, this car is coming from the left, so I want this to be a picture which comes from the right. Then there's a mirror option over here. The picture is mirrored now, so you could see the car coming from the other side. So if you want to flip this picture upside down, for example, let's take this flower picture, you want to flip it upside down any which way you want. And if you want to add borders to these images, you can use that as well. So there's a white border that you can see. So it's very simple, you don't have complicated frames and stuff that you see in other apps. This is a very simple item, very beautiful item app create. So that's the app Layout for you guys. So anytime that you want to make a collage, Layout should be the best one according to me. I hope you liked it. The next app I'll be discussing today is called the Google Trips. This Google Trips app വളരെ കുറച്ച് നാളായിട്ടുള്ള ഇതിപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ആപ്പ് സ്റ്റോറിലും അതേപോലെ പ്ലേ സ്റ്റോറിലും ആൻഡ്രോയിഡ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലും കിട്ടാൻ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ട്. The reason why I took this app today is whenever you're going for a trip, for example, you're going to Armenia, you're going to Georgia, you're going to India, you're going anywhere in the world, and if you are going there as a tourist, mostly what we'll do is that നമ്മൾ ഗൂഗിളിൽ തന്നെ പോയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട് അല്ലേ, എവിടെ സ്റ്റേ ചെയ്യണം, എന്തൊക്കെ ലൊക്കേഷൻസ് നമുക്ക് പോയി കാണാൻ പറ്റും, ഷുഡ് വി ടേക്ക് എ റെൻറ്റഡ് കാർ ഔട്ട് ദർ, ഹൗ മച്ച് ഇസ് ഗോണ കോസ്റ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള പല കാര്യങ്ങളും നമ്മളൊരു ട്രിപ്പിന് പോകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും നമ്മൾ പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. സോ ഈ ഒരു സംഭവം മനസ്സിൽ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെയാണ് ഗൂഗിൾ ഈ ഒരു ആപ്പ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗൂഗിൾ ട്രിപ്സ്. സോ വാട്ട് യു കൻ ഡു വിത്ത് ദിസ് ആപ്പ് ഇസ് അമേസിങ്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, സേ ദാറ്റ് യു ആർ പ്ലാനിങ് ടു ഗോ ടു അർമേനിയ. അർമേനിയയിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ യു ക്യാൻ ഓപ്പൺ ദിസ് ആപ്പ് and download all the details that you would require to know about Armenia, including the food, the places you need to visit, the closest hotels that you can get when you land in this place. Angane anything and everything about this place you can download it and use it offline when you're in Armenia. So on the way you can plan all your stuff using this app. So that's what we're going to discuss, and I'll open up the app and I'll show you what it does for you. So let's go. So when you open the screen, these are the apps that you have, and this is exactly how the Google Trips app is going to look like. So I'm going to go straight into it, and it has opened. Here you could see all the cards of all the places that I've been to. അപ്പോൾ ഇതെല്ലാം ഞാൻ ഓൾറെഡി യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന cards ആണ്, the places that I've been to. Okay, so we'll go check it out how things are going to work with Google Trips when you search for a place. For example, I search for Armenia. Armenia search in Shesham. This is what you get. Trip to Yerevan. Yerevan is the place in Armenia. So this is what you see. So once you go into that, you get all the options. So reservations, things to do, day plans, then saved places and food entering. Itrayum options are namukku കാണാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നത്. Reservations will show the tickets that you have booked. For example, you have booked the tickets to Armenia and you have received your mail in Gmail. So automatically all the Gmail tickets that you have received in Gmail will be reflecting on this app. So this is like connected from the Google server. So what happens is the reservations il poi nokkanengil aa trip details alla namukku kaana sadhikkum, what time you're going to go, what time you're going to come back, airport details ellam thanne namukku reservations il kaana sadhikkum. The next thing is things to do. This is where it gets interesting. In things to do, when you go inside, you will see all the top spots that you can go. The first thing that they're going to show is Republic Square. Then there's the other places that you can actually go and visit. So you could see the list of places. So mostly നമ്മൾ ഒരു travel company വഴി നമ്മൾ പോവാണെങ്കിൽ തന്നെ you might not be able to discover all the places that's there. കാരണം ആ travel itinerary-ൽ ഓൾറെഡി ഉള്ള സ്ഥലങ്ങൾ മാത്രം നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കുക അല്ലേ. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഗൂഗിൾ ട്രിപ്സിൽ പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ പർട്ടിക്കുലർ പ്ലേസിലുള്ള എല്ലാ destinations അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എല്ലാ സ്ഥലങ്ങളും നമുക്ക് ഇതിൽ കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. So you could see the number of places that you can visit in Armenia in this app. So this is how it's going to look. The Freedom Square, the zoo, so all these places you can see. And not just that, if you go into those places you can see more in details. You can directly call that place, you can look in directions when you land in Yerevan, how you going to get to that place. Google Map ഇവിടുന്ന് ഡയറക്റ്റ് ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. Then അവരുടെ ഡയറക്റ്റ് വെബ്സൈറ്റ്, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ യു ഗോയിങ് ടു ദിസ് ഫോർട്രസ്, ഈ ഒരു ഫോർട്രസിൽ പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവരുടെ വെബ്സൈറ്റും in-depth detail നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു ആപ്പിൽ കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. So the next option that you have is something called For You. ഈ For You എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഓപ്ഷൻ എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ Google is actually learning your interest over time. So the kind of things that you search for, for example, you're interested in photography. So For You sectionil പോണെങ്കിൽ photographers interesting ആയിട്ടുള്ള സ്ഥലങ്ങളായിരിക്കും ആദ്യം ഇതിൽ കാണാൻ സാധിക്കുക. But if you're a foodie and if you've always been searching about food and stuff on Google, what it does is that it will automatically prompt you with the options that you can. For example, ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ യെറവാനിൽ പോവുകയാണെന്നെങ്കിൽ തന്നെ അവിടെ ഏറ്റവും ബെസ്റ്റ് ഫുഡ് കിട്ടുന്ന സ്ഥലം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവിടുത്തെ ഡെലിക്കസീസ് എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്നുള്ളതെല്ലാം ഈ For You നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. So that's something like really interesting. And as we spoke in the last episode, this is all about artificial intelligence that's we are seeing it lately in our mobile phone. So here, when I go to For You, what it will show me is that because I'm interested in photography, it is showing me all the places that I can go to. So you can take the best photos in Armenia. So it's showing me the genocide museum, it's showing me the art museum. So these are the places that it's prompting me in this For You. Then there's something called Indoors. Indoors le povaanengil, if you're a person who is into architecture, or if you're a person into history and all that, mostly museums and സംഭവങ്ങളൊക്കെ അർമേനിയയിൽ എന്തൊക്കെയുണ്ടെന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ കാണാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നത്. So indoors, if you see, these are the options that the app is showing you. Then outdoors, again you have all the other places that you can see outdoors. So this is how deep this app has got into for all you travelers out there. So there are so many things that I won't have much time to explain to you the full things about the app, but I'm sure that you can go ahead and download this. This is Google Trips, and you will be able to see how easy it would become when you plan for your next travel. So I'm sure you have enjoyed this one. I want you to go ahead and download. It's called Google Trips. I hope you enjoyed it, only here on Wiki Techie. So today we discussed on the Google Trips app. We discussed on how to edit your pictures within like 10 to 15 seconds without even touching any other third-party app. And also we saw an app called Layout, wherein you could work on the collage of your images. So ഇത്രയും സംഭവങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞു. So what I want you guys to do is that I want you to go ahead and download these apps. Not all the apps I would say, but the ones that you really would like. So Google Trips നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയിട്ട് തോന്നുകയാണെങ്കിൽ you download it, and if you have anything to ask about it, and I want to know about your feedback of how you felt about the app, and if there's anything that you want to add on to, where എന്തെങ്കിലും app നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ please let me know with your name and details, so I'll get back with the next episode with the apps that you're going to suggest to me, and we'll see. So for all the details you can see it down there, the email ID that you can send me the details, so I'll be waiting for it. So I'll see you next week again. This is Arjun signing off from Wiki Techie.